I'm just going to start the video with that clip. I don't even care if it's relevant. I laugh every single time I watch it.
You are a celebrity. So basically what's going to happen is there's product here. And this is where you end up, right here. If you can communicate this product, you can make money off the product. Because look at Gaga. She's the creative director of Polaroid. I like some of the Gaga songs. What the does she know about cameras?
Hi. So recently, influencer and former Love Island star Molly May announced that she'd been made the creative director for infamous fast fashion brand Pretty Little Thing. This news was met with interesting reactions, from her 6 million Instagram followers flooding with congratulatory comments, to fashion industry skeptics labeling this as a mere PR stunt, to pure misogynists claiming that a woman could never possibly thrive in such a high demand job. But a response that was more interesting to me was similar to tweets from fair fashion campaigner Venetia Lamana, who tweeted, quote, "I often daydream about the day when Molly May does a sit down, catch up with me vlog explaining why she's breaking up with Pretty Little Thing. They produce too much clothing, guys," and does a dedicated Instagram post about garment worker demands to her 5.9 million followers. This post took me aback for a second because I had to consider whether I've misinterpreted all the discourse around influencers' impact on fast fashion. Like, surely it's obvious that an influencer profiting from fast fashion wouldn't want to bite the hand that feeds them. So today I want to talk about just how much influence there is to be used in the journey towards fair fashion.
Now, advertisers are spending their money towards platforms like YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. And on top of these platforms, we have these things called influencers.
How ridiculous is it that it's weird to wear something twice?
They like to call themselves influencers in terms of business. They're good at selling things, they're good at influencing their audience to buy things, but they don't want to accept the responsibility of being an influence.
Molly is the PLT customer. She is a great fit to join our team to work on our 2022 strategy, and we're excited to have her input in terms of creative campaigns, signing new brand ambassadors, and working on her own collections over the next 12 months. Those are the words of a Pretty Little Thing spokesperson commenting on why Molly was chosen for the role. Campaigns, ambassadors, and collections. These three facets of a fashion brand are important for sure, but any person in this role for, say, a year-long contract as stipulated in that statement would have to do a lot of work to change any of the foundations of how a business works or a business makes profit, in that sense being the materials and the workers at the very bottom of the chain. I've seen calls for Molly May to finally address the bad parts of PLT, like their suspiciously low prices and how many have tied that to low worker wages and a lack of ethical fabric manufacturing and the very cheap fabrics associated with them. But it's already quite clear that that's a very tall order. So as more people like Molly May, and Kendall Jenner I think was recently made a creative director for something, and all these macro influencer bordering on celebrity types get into these kinds of roles, it's important for people to be realistic about what they're expecting from them to do. When your fave accepts a deal with a problematic organization, they are not being hoodwinked, they are not being misled about the company's practices. Their best interest is on their portfolio, and at that level, like the Molly May job, the company bottom line. Ask Your Brand on Instagram is an example of a community efforts to have smaller micro influencers make more ethical choices for brand sponsorships and partnerships. They provide resources or just sounding boards for micro influencers to talk about their experiences working with brands and thinking about where the clothing and stuff they're about to promote is coming from. And if that kind of resource exists for influencers at such a small level, then imagine the level of like advisory boards and counsel and lawyers that a Molly May can speak to help them make a decision. And also a person at that level isn't going to be scrambling for sponsorships. Like, they can pick and choose from a myriad of brands that would be dying to work with them. So unlike a small influencer who say may take a deal with a brand that they're not entirely comfortable with because bills don't pay themselves, a Molly May can pick anyone essentially because they have so much visibility that a brand would want. And it's like, yeah, they're really not unaware of these things. Like, the reason I make a lot of this content, and what I assume is the goal of a lot of fair fashion advocates in general, is to help people, the followers, realize that it's their support that's giving these people opportunities to such massive roles, such exposure, and such access to wealth. It's their support, it's their eyes on their Instagram pages, it's their likes, it's their engagement that's giving the Molly Mays of the world these massive opportunities. And those followers could easily take it all away. Since the boom of social media, many young brands attribute their success to the rise of influencers who are now, quote, the most powerful force in the fashion marketplace. Again, the reason for this is because of a lot of the younger generations, a lot of younger people are more prone to being swayed into more impulsive purchasing decisions. A big part of influencer popularity and why they are such good vessels for advertising is relatability. Unlike, say, celebrities who are pushed to us by big corporations, influencers are just like us. They also came from nothing. And in the case of, say, Molly May, who this isn't, I feel like I need to clarify, this video isn't some sort of like a takedown on her. This is just recent news, and it's easier to make this sort of a video when you have a very tangible case study. But I am in no way trying to critique her as a person. Any of my videos, I'm mainly trying to critique either a system of operation or a larger trend at hand, and sometimes one specific person just happens to be easier to analyze it, because if I try and make it a bit wider, then instead of being a 15-minute video, this would be a 50-minute video, and I do not look forward to editing that sort of content. But in the case of Molly May, she is proclaimed that to not always have led a life of luxury. Like, she too used to shop in charity shops, she says, as if shopping in charity shops is bad. I know there's a stigma, but also that's kind of tone deaf to say now. But anyway, and most importantly, she wouldn't promote anything that she didn't believe in. And in all honesty, are we supposed to believe that a person who can afford a 30 grand watch, bracelet, whatever, is like still relatable and still actively wears clothing that goes for 9p on Pretty Little Thing actively, if it wasn't for the fact that they're being paid to promote it? Like, do they really wear what they sell? Once that sort of stuff is really critiqued, then maybe we can really start to think about what consumers should actually want. I know I usually talk about this stuff like it's just about the clothes and it's just about how the clothes are made, but sometimes these influencers also represent selling a dream, selling an ideology that with hard work, determination, and pure merit, you too could become the creative director of a multi-million-dollar company at 22. This, of course, as opposed to the more collective dream that with hard work and determination we could all come into a world of fair, unionized labor and production where everyone is fairly compensated and you get cute clothes. The bottom line is, without 6 million Instagram followers, Molly May would be no more qualified than anyone else with a fashion background or a social media marketing background at all. And I don't like the idea of pressuring influencers to change, but I rather want people to be given knowledge that feels them more empowered to make fair fashion choices. High profile influencers and celebrities who don't have the people's best interest at hand will continue to be catapulted into these roles as long as people have their eyes on them. So just don't give them that I guess. Just divest and unfollow. That's all you really have to do. And I know me talking about this feels counterproductive, but then it kind of isn't, because even if this video serves as like opening the eyes of just one person, that's enough for me. But to be fair, this video does feel like more of a rant than anything, and I just wanted to talk about this. But as always, feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have any additional thoughts that you'd like to share? I always look forward to reading the comments, because it always feels like all of you are more insightful than me, who's actually like sat down to make a video and stuff. So yeah, so feel free to like, share, subscribe, so more people get to see this content, and it also helps me and with the almighty and ineffable algorithm. And also you can support this channel by donating to my Ko-fi. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time. Bye.